Hey guys, welcome to my channel and my first video. My channel is According to Ashley and I'm Ashley. Today's video is just going to be a short Q&A, just some questions for me to answer so that you guys can get to know me. What is your name, your birthday, and your age? My name is Ashley Brown, my birthday is October 8th, and I'm 25 years old. I'll be 26 pretty soon. Question number 2, what is your relationship status? So I'm actually married. We'll be married for 2 years in September. My husband's name is Raheem. He's my best friend. And you guys will get to meet him shortly, hopefully in a vlog or some other kind of video. You guys will get to see his awesome sense of humor and just his goofiness, and you'll probably love him just as much as I do. Question number 3, where are you from? So I was actually born and raised in Alaska. I've never lived anywhere else. I was born in a small place called Bethel. It's off of the road system in Alaska. It's actually like an hour's flight outside of Anchorage. So it's considered rural Alaska. We lived there till I turned about 4, I think, almost 5, and then we moved to the Anchorage area. And if you're not familiar with Anchorage, Anchorage is the biggest city in Alaska. And we've been here for over 20 years now, pretty much living in the same area. But yeah, my husband and I moved on base. We've been in this house for 2 years, and we're actually going to move soon. So that'll be my first time moving out of Alaska, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Question number 4, what is a random fact about you? A random fact about me is when I was about 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I was really into like punk rock music, a little bit of metal, but me and my brother really loved the Misfits. So our first concert was actually the Misfits. We went together. Our older cousin took us, and that was our first concert. And then our second concert, we actually went together again, was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So pretty good concert list so far. There's only 2, but I still want to see so many bands, so many more. And I think my number 1 concert that I would want to go to, just a side note, is the Foo Fighters. If I could go see the Foo Fighters, my life would be complete. What are 3 things that you love? That's a hard one. So I love coffee. I have to have coffee every single day or else I pretty much can't function. If you want to know, my Starbucks order is super boring, but anytime I go to Starbucks, I get a grande hazelnut latte, sometimes a breve, and then a cheese Danish. That's pretty much what I get every single time. I try to get different things every once in a while, but that's the thing that I always go back to. I just love hazelnut too. So that'll be my second thing. I love hazelnut flavoring. I love hazelnuts. I love like Nutella. What's a third thing that I love? Ooh, I love gyoza. Gyoza is amazing. Anytime we go to get sushi, like my husband and I or my family, I have to have gyoza. What are 3 things that I don't like? If we're talking food, I really don't like basil. I don't know what it is. I know people love basil. To me, it just tastes like, kind of like soap, how people don't like cilantro. That's kind of the flavor and like taste that I get when I eat basil. So I really don't like basil. Another thing that I don't like mouth sounds like chewing or when people clean their teeth and slurping. When people slurp their coffee or tea, it drives me nuts. I can't stand it. And the last thing that I don't like, I don't like when people get in my personal bubble. That is a pet peeve of mine. If I know you and we're friends or we're family, then by all means, like, you're welcome inside my bubble. Give me a hug or whatever, you know? But if I don't know you and I'm like at the store trying to get something and you're in my bubble, that makes me so mad. What do you do for a living? I am a homemaker. That is something that my husband and I equally decided that we wanted for our marriage before we even got married. The hope is that later on down the road we're able to have kids and that I'm able to stay home with them and be a stay-at-home mom. But for now I'm a homemaker, and what I want to do with that is make some videos, cleaning, organizational, decorating, and maybe give you an insight on what it is to be a homemaker, because I actually have a schedule that I've made for myself Monday through Friday of the chores that I do, the errands that I run, just to keep myself busy. A lot of people don't think homemakers do anything. They think we're very lazy. There's a lot of stereotypes about us, especially those of us who are military spouses. Don't get me started on that. What is your favorite kind of music? Me and my brother basically were raised on classic rock with a little bit of Hawaiian music because my dad was born and raised in Hawaii. I got a lot of family that's still in Hawaii. My brother actually moved back to Hawaii like over a year ago, maybe 2 years now. But we grew up listening to a lot of classic rock and Hawaiian music. So that's kind of just really stuck with me. I love classic rock. That's how me and my husband kind of bonded too. A lot of people made fun of me for my taste in music, and a lot of people made fun of him. And our mutual friend was like, oh my gosh, you guys listen to the same crappy music. But that's how we bonded, classic rock. So yeah, I love classic rock, love Hawaiian music. Hawaiian music is like my comfort zone. If I'm having like a down day or something like that, I put on some Hawaiian music and it makes me feel happy. What's the number one place that you'd like to travel to? I would have to say Portugal, mainly because we're Portuguese and I feel a very strong connection with Portugal, the motherland. My family always teases me that I'm super Portuguese. My dad actually nicknamed me Cebola, which means onion, because I love onions and like cooking with onions, so that's my like Portuguese name. But yeah, definitely Portugal. That's my top travel place that I want to go to. I've lost count of the number of questions, but the next question is, do you have any weird habits? Off the top of my head, I can't think of any weird habits I have besides sleepwalking. For instance, just a quick funny story. My brother and I think we were both teenagers at this point, but we were sleeping in my parents' living room. I was on the couch facing this way, so this is my head. My brother was asleep on the floor facing the same way, so his head was right next to my head. So I was a pretty light sleeper back then, and my brother was dead asleep. I was dead asleep. My brother sits up super fast, turns to me, and just screams right in my face. Just, ah! And then I scream, like, I'm like, ah! Because he, like, wakes me up. And then that wakes him up, like, actually wakes him up, and then he's like, ah! And then he's like, why did you do that? And I was like, dude, that was you. Like, you were sleepwalking. And he was like, oh. And then my mom comes out and she's like, what's going on? And we're like, sorry, we're sleepwalking. But yeah, so we both sleepwalk. Like I said, it's kind of faded now. I haven't had anything happen in maybe a month or two now, and it wasn't that drastic. But yeah, that's like my weird habit that I can think of right now. Next question, how tall are you? So I'm fairly tall. I'm just under 5'9", the last time that I was like measured. I tell people I'm 5'9" on a good day because I do have some like back and neck issues from my previous jobs that have like shrunken me a little bit. But yeah, I'm like 5'9" or just under 5'9". What is your favorite season and favorite holiday? So my favorite season is fall time. I love fall time. I think it's probably because I was born in the fall. But I also think it goes back to my mom would decorate the house for fall time. She loves fall. She loves Halloween. So during the fall time, our house was always decorated with pumpkins, candy. She would love to bake too, so I love baking in the fall time. Fall time is just like a really cozy, homey time of year for me. And for a favorite holiday, I love Christmas time. But I just really love the holiday spirit. I love family time. Christmas always reminds me of being with my mom, my dad, and my brother. And waking up super early Christmas morning, like making mom and dad coffee, eating breakfast, hanging out, just being super excited for Christmas, you know? And at the end of the day, after the presents, we're like most excited to eat a bunch of really good food. So I love Christmas, and I love the snow. I love how it looks outside, that it's cold. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I used to not like it. I used to hate the snow, and now that I got older, I just really love the snow, and it's kind of sad for me because I'm moving, and where we're moving to, they get snow, but not like Alaska, and I feel like it's just not going to be that same Christmas feeling or winter feeling that Alaska has. So I'm kind of like bittersweet. I'm like, we get more warmer weather, but I'm going to miss the snow just a little bit. What's your most embarrassing moment from high school? So I'd have to say it was Okay, so I went to a Catholic school. It was very small. We had to mix the different grades together in order to do different classes. So we didn't have like a gym class. We did ballroom dancing. That was our PE. And like I said, I'm fairly tall, right? So I didn't really have dance partners besides my best friend who's actually taller than me. Hey, Michelle. She's like 6 foot, I think. And then there was another guy who was a senior named Michael. He was pretty tall too. And he was the only male that could dance with me or Michelle and be the lead. So he knew how much I wanted to dance and not be the lead. So he started dancing with me. He was my dance partner. And we're dancing, we're having a good time. And he's actually a really good ballroom dancer. So he was doing all these spins and like trying to dip me and everything. And us being a Catholic school, we had to wear plaid skirts. So for whatever reason that day, I didn't wear tights or nylons. I wore the like knee-high white socks. Him and I are dancing. He's trying to do all these cool dance moves. And then he goes to dip me and somehow misjudged because he forgot how tall I was, probably how heavy I was, and I didn't like fully trust in him. So then something slipped, my leg flew up in the air, my skirt went up in the air with it, and everyone saw my bright red underwear. Everyone. Like the 6th graders all the way up to the 12th graders. I was so embarrassed. And then I fell on the floor just like, bah! And then he picks me up and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, you're the lead. Like, you dipped me, dude. And everybody, like, we flashed everybody. Thank you. Next question is, what did you go to school for? So after high school, I went into culinary school, pretty much right after I graduated. And it was a year-long program down in Seward, Alaska. Seward's like a 2-hour drive outside of Anchorage. And it was a vocational tech school called AvTech. I went there for their professional baking and cooking program. Basically, like I said, it's a year-long. Everyone goes through like the basics of cooking, and then at a certain point you choose if you want to stay in cooking or if you want to branch off and do the baking, which is what I did. So I got certified in baking and pastry arts. That's what I did after I graduated from AvTech, as well as I got jobs with bakeries, and I was a cake decorator for many years. I loved baking. I loved being in the bakeries. That's where I felt most at home and most confident, and also most productive and creative. So I definitely miss being in a bakery. The last job I had before I became a homemaker was at a store here in Anchorage. It's kind of like a Whole Foods store. I don't want to say the name, but I worked there for a couple of years, and I was actually their gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan baker. I might do some videos about that because I know people find that very interesting, and it can also be very difficult. So maybe that's an idea. If you guys want to see that, comment down below if you want to see some vegan baking or gluten-free baking or just baking in general. I'd love to show you some cake decorating skills too, because I haven't done that in a while. Next question is, do you have any hobbies? I do have a few hobbies. My mom had me in art classes from a very small age. I think I was about 5 until 12-ish is when I stopped, but I still continue taking art through high school. But I did painting, like watercolor painting, acrylic painting, sketching. But my most current hobby that I'm trying to really fine-tune is etching. And I picked that up in a high school art class, and I just really fell in love with it. And it's like scratchboard etching, where you like scrape off the black ink basically. It's super tedious, but I love that kind of work, and I love just like how simple it is between the black and the white contrast. So that's like my most recent hobby that I kind of pick up and I put it down and I pick it up again. But I just recently did a piece for my mom for Mother's Day, this past Mother's Day, of her mom. And it took me literally years to complete it because I was pretty scared to do it. I didn't want to mess it up, but most of all, it was just super tedious. But I finally finished it. It was like 5 years in the making. But I'm really trying to like get back into etching to where I can have it down to where I'm comfortably making portraits or pictures and not having to take over a year to do it. So this next question actually came from my husband because I was running out of question ideas, and he said, what are you known for? Because he said everybody's known for something. Without a doubt, without even skipping a beat, I said my bun. I am known for this bun. not like this particular bun, but my hair is just always in a bun. It's like how people identify me. It's how my parents describe me. Most everyone that I know is like, oh, I just look for the bun, like the tall bun walking down the aisle. That's me. And it's like how people identify me in pictures. I actually had a friend, randomly, she was taking a picture in a parking lot, and it was like we didn't know the other person was there, and she had a picture, and like she just saw a bun, and then she was like, oh my god, that's you. And then she showed me, and this was like a 3-year gap between the picture and then her identifying me and then showing me, and she was like, I knew it was you because of the bun. So definitely my bun. Comment down below if you have any other questions for me, and I can answer them in a future video. And I had a lot of fun making this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to share this video, I would appreciate it. And please subscribe. I'd love you forever. And until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. How should I sign off? Bye!